the genius I am, figured it out. Just kidding.
What a
It's
genius.
completely my fault that it happened in the first place. So, but anyways, we introduced
You
our new
don't tell him that
characters.
part.
I wanted transparency on the channel. We introduced our new character, but we're gonna speed through everything that happened real quick, just because we have new characters and we want to stay caught up on what happened for VODs. So we had the crew that we already knew. In Blossom's bag, we had rumbling around. Do you want to check it out, Blossom?
Hells yeah!
All right, great. You open it up. Oh my gosh, it's the box.
Oh man!
You pop it open. This orb comes out and it's smoking everywhere, and it takes off
Oh,
through the
hey.
streets.
Hey, come back!
We're all chasing after the orb. It's Blossom followed by me, followed
Insert
by King
Scooby-Doo
Jack, followed
music.
by Adrian.
Then we cut away to our new character, Beck Swanson. Beck, you see a large place in front of you with two giant brass towers. Would you like to go towards it?
Yes, please.
All right, great. You meet a warforged along the way who is a high up in the chapters of brass. He is nice and welcoming. You continue through. You stop at the base of the tower. Thank you for the follow. You stop at the base of the tower, and you see people coming up to you. There's this weird orb, and it stops and lands in your hand.
Whoa, weird.
Everyone, you see an Hair Ganassi in front of you. She has a flute at her
Oh,
hip.
hi.
And
Whoa.
you all meet her.
Hi, I'm awesome.
Various degrees of friendly introductions.
Hi, I'm King Jax, blah blah blah, all beans.
Hi, I'm very confused as to why I have an orb in my hand. Let's figure it out. It's your
Well-
problem now.
We know this guy named Beans back at our place.
Let's see what he has to say.
This is why we left him at your house and not mine.
Don't mind Adrian, she's grown.
Anyone else getting deja vu?
You walk through the streets. You see Mr. Micah. King Jax helps him pin a sign up. It says
It's a festival.
it says something. You continue through. You wind down through these streets. Everyone is very excited for the festival. They're pinning up signs. They're putting out decorations. They're hanging up flowers. You make it to this beautiful house with a greenhouse on the top. It's intricate wood carvings. A little waterfall out the back. Beans is not there. There's a letter pinned to the door that says, "Let the orb guide you and be with who it will." Signed ... Beans. He is not happy about Beans. You wait a few moments. Beck,
I look at the orb.
Yeah, you look at the orb. Inside, you see a music note swirling around in the smoke with a nice Arcana check that I'm sure you rolled again.
Oh, yes.
I see nothing with a similarly nice Arcana check. It
That is
actually
true.
wasn't that great.
It
Oh, I
feels-
see nothing to look for shit in the house.
That's true. Everything's rearranged. Weird. The orb is 1,000 pounds to everyone but Beck. Weird. Approaching from the path. All right, now we'll get back into it. Approaching from the path.
Whoa.
And we slow down.
And scene.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
That was a great speed run.
I thought it was good. All right, next session. So-
See you guys
I will play that always.
Approaching from down the path, you see a drow woman. This is Kit. She has a brass arm. She has dark purple skin. She has deep or bleached white hair, and she has strange pink glowing eyes. In front of her, you see a large Triton man that she is pushing down the pathway. You notice him as Risker, the barkeep who you spent gold with the night before.
Spent much gold.
Much gold. I have much gold.
Not me, but
Risker says that he is all out of ale for the festival, and that he would really appreciate. I'll turn my volume up. He would really appreciate some help in a bit of a beer run, if you will, and picking up more ale for the festival.
I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most noble quest we've ever been assigned, far as I'm concerned.
I don't possibly see how this could involve anything that
Does it pay anything?
Kit kind of steps up and she's like, well, the chapters would be more than willing to front
All right,
a little bit of gold.
Well, then you can count me in.
And welcome, and you are? And Kit extends out a brass metal hand to shake your hand.
Behind my back, I switch to make sure the orb's in the right hand, and then I stick out and shake the hand. Nice to meet you. My name is Beck.
That's a pleasure. Are you looking for work too, then?
I am indeed.
Well, you're in luck. This chapter seems to be in a bit of a rebuilding year. Perhaps that perhaps you could accompany them. And Kit looks around as if to question everyone else as if this is okay.
I mean, I think that's great. I mean, if we're bringing a bunch of ale and stuff back, the more the merrier, right? More hands, more barrels and stuff.
I've been a member for about
8
15
hours.
minutes. So
Not even his initiation was like this morning, right?
I officially became a member about an hour ago, so I have no problems with adding someone else into the fold.
We are in a bit of a rebuilding season. We could use more hands and, well, some more help around here at the wrong turns. And that makes it really hard to sell the group.
Who named it that again?
Wasn't me. It was up to me, we would have
It
been
was
the
me!
Well,
I also think it's a good band
count me
name.
in.
Yes, since this should only take a day, the chapters will give you all 150 gold each. I know it's not much, but this should only take a few hours.
That's our
We'll do
that's our
it.
daily rate.
Oh, well, yes. Usually it's about 500. As you,
Well, I mean, it'll take some of the sting off of the candle night shopping.
yes, wow, you guys
All
really
right.
breezed through that this morning.
Yes, it's haggling time. Alright, Mr. Risker, I'll help for the payment, and also, my friends and I get a free drinking pass. For getting drinks.
Are you still wearing the shirt? The
Blossom?
Risker
Yeah,
shirt?
totally, it's like got like a big old grease
King, King Jack says this, and Blossom looks incredibly surprised and very proud.
Look, I got the poured one out for Berlin.
Pour one out.
That's a new shirt. Risker steps up. He's like, well, again, avoiding eye contact. He's like, well, since this is going to be a big favor for me, free drinking pass for the festival, but after that, we're going back to the normal rates. How's that sound?
That'll be a good deal. Sticks out big fuzzy mitt, take a drink. I did for those in chat, I describe my fur-balled hands as big fuzzy mitts.
Often, very, very often.
Drink. All right, so Risker's like, yeah, I have a contact in the town of Pennypool. It's about an hour ride away from here, or an hour walk. You don't even need horses, to be honest. Just ask for Marty Matchborough. He'll hook you up with some ale. We normally trade back and forth. He makes some really good stuff.
All right, how much ale do you need us to try and get from him exactly?
As much as Marty can part with. I mean, I know they're having their own Candle Nights festival in Pennypool, as everybody is, but significantly less populated town, so you should be able to get a few kegs at least.
All right, well, I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out.
Yeah, and don't worry about paying him. We work more on a favor basis, so I'll get him back next time.
All right, we'll be sure to relay the message. Anything else you need us to tell this Matchborough?
Tell him he has a big head.
All right, we'll tell him that after we get the ale.
Definitely. And he kind of laughs and he kind of puts his hat back on. He's like, I thank you kindly. I'd go myself, but I fear my adventuring days are a little in the past, and I got to set up for tonight.
Is this really going to be a full adventure? It kind of seems like we're just going on a nail run here.
Hey, you never know.
A side quest.
You
As
never
it
know
were.
when the DM needs to fill some time.
Is that a new arch existence?
What was that, Adrian?
Oh, well, we're getting paid for it, so that's about as much of an adventure as I need to go.
My thoughts exactly. Well, best of luck. Walk safely. And he turns around and he strides off. He's in a bit of a hurry. I mean, it's Candle Nights tomorrow. He's got to set up shop. He's losing money being out here. So Kit does one of these kind of four-finger waves and turns around and Risker and runs after him and kind of like half tackles him into the bush. And seems like they're old friends.
Aw.
Just friends.
Yeah. So you guys have the day. You guys and girls have the day to do what you wish.
So we were going on the L run.
I mean, you can. You don't have to. I guess you could stiff him.
We just.
No, I mean,
Oh,
I guess,
we didn't find any. We didn't leave town, but we didn't find any.
I'm gonna do a history check to see if I know where the nearest ale is.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, he said Pennypool was the village? Town?
Yes.
Person.
Correct.
I mean, there could be a place that's closer.
What did you roll?
Wow.
Maybe we should split the party and check both at once and really,
Yeah.
really annoy the DM.
Don't Scooby do this.
All right, gang.
All right, so you get ready. You've got your 2 relatively new members, still mourning the loss of Bryn, who is somewhat unconscious at the moment. You guys can check in on her if you want. The same story. This orb is smoking over her, and a thin layer of smoke is coalescing over her entire body.
Oh, yeah, see, there's another one.
See, we told you we had another one here. Beans, I think, left it.
How many orbs do we have?
2 now.
Yeah, I think just the 2.
And do these normally lead you places or do things like that?
So far, it's pretty much all they do.
Ah,
They smoke.
so you haven't seen any other uses for them yet?
I mean, they do smoke like the goblins I knew back in Albion, but,
Try throwing it up in the air once and see if it does anything.
Ah.
All right. So I'll throw it up, but I'll be ready to catch it just in case.
Throw it up. Simple like a baseball. Comes right back down.
Well, I guess you could throw it at
What?
someone, I guess.
Or what if you, like, put it down and walk away? Does it, like, start smoking again?
Let's try.
Yeah.
Plop it, walk away.
Okay. As soon as you're like 10 feet away from it, it pops up and just zooms towards you. You kind of catch it in the belly and they're pushed back a little bit.
Neat.
I think it wants to stay with me.
I guess so.
I guess you've made a 1, 2, 3, a 4th friend there.
Just like all of you to me.
Interesting. Well, I guess while we're on our L run, I'll see if it, I don't know, jiggles or anything. I'm
Yeah, it's been just kind of like it'll like vibrate and stuff when it wants to do a thing. So
yes,
you
jiggles.
know, be ready for that. Tickles.
All right, so y'all head out. Would you like to acquire horses, or is this a journey you are doing on foot? Oh, go ahead.
Before we leave, I will say a nice prayer to Bulin over poor Bryn's unconscious form.
Make a religion check.
Yeah. Man, wait, am I making the first? Oh no, someone else made a roll tonight. Oh
Yeah, we
boy.
rolled a few times.
Do I say it as I'm rolling? Do I say my line?
Yes,
that
please do.
I'm good at this. 10.
10.
Hey, you're average at this.
Really? So you finish your prayer. You sit there with your eyes closed for a second over Bryn's body. And normally what happens when you pray is you feel like Bulin on the other side, and since you have such a personal connection with him, he doesn't necessarily answer, but you feel his energy coming back to you, but you don't this time. It's kind of like you're praying to nothing.
He says to himself, must be busy today.
But before we leave, is Bryn still at my place, right?
Yes.
Okay. So before we leave there, I walk over to Callan's bed and place a very nicely wrapped package on the bedside table.
Oh,
Got a little bow on it and everything.
I cry. So Beck, just for context, you look over and you see a female wood elf who is unconscious with the smoke over her, but you also look over and see a young half elf?
Yeah.
Young half elf boy
Oh yeah.
who is also unconscious.
And then Kane Jax is gonna softly walk over, trying to make sure, like, not to interrupt Adrian, that's her name, and he's gonna pull out like a plushy furbolg and leave it at this, like put it into the kid's arms as he's sleeping, and just kind of like do it gently with these big fuzzy mitts that he has, and he's just gonna kind of like nudge it in softly, and he's gonna put a hand on Adrian's shoulder and say a soft prayer to Boolin there as well.
If you look closely, you see probably the first bit of emotion on Adrian's face where she hasn't been drunk or mad or scowling.
I did it.
Beck, watching this, kind of like stays back. This isn't really her place yet, but she pulls out her flute and plays a bit of oh gosh, what's the name? The song you sing at night.
Oh, like a lullaby?
Thank you. Yeah.
Bards are good with words.
Hell yeah.
Music speaks for me. So she plays a little bit of a lullaby, kind of further back.
Okay. Anything else anyone else wants to do here? Whoops.
Let's go.
All right. Would you like to acquire horses, or will you be traveling on foot?
Horses cost money on foot.
Yeah, I was just about to say we've got like an hour to go.
Yep.
Maybe on foot. Yeah, we do on foot.
All right. So you head off on foot. Is there any conversations that want to be had during this? Does anyone want to chat amongst themselves? Anything like that? Otherwise, it's a pretty uneventful journey.
How long are we expecting the journey to be?
About an hour.
An hour. Okay, I couldn't remember.
I guess I can describe my character since.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Thank
true.
you. Yeah, do that.
Please do.
So Beck's about 5'10". She's around 28 years old, I believe. So still pretty young. She has light blue skin and kind of stark white hair, and she carries a flute with her always. And she looks pretty put together, even despite traveling alone forever. She looks, like she's got it together-ish for the most part. So yeah, that's Beck.
Fantastic. Does anyone want to have a convo while we're traveling?
Sorry, I had the light bulb went up. I'm like, Air Genasi, Tempest Cleric. Yeah.
Nice.
Your
So-
combined powers of the unstoppable.
So if no one else is going to, Kane Jax is going to approach the newcomer because he's kind of the friendly, blabby guy.
Party.
He's like the welcome bot in Discord. So, Beck, tell me, where do you come from? Where are you traveling from? Where did you leave home from so long ago?
Well, gosh, I almost forget home. I remember the people, but not so much of the place. I've been on my own for quite a while, actually. I kind of like it better that way, though.
Oh, sorry to break up the whole solitude thing with all of us, then.
It's refreshing to meet people that I haven't known my whole life.
Say, you ever travel through the northern mountains in Albion? That's where my people are. That's where I come from.
I've never stayed long in any one place, but yes, I did travel through there.
Oh, it's a very lovely place. A bit chilly for those without... And he just kind of rubs his arm.
Yes, I do remember that.
Where'd you learn your skills with that there flute?
Well, my parents left me alone a lot at home, and all I had was instruments, and music kept me company.
I can understand that.
You play often, and she kind of like motion or like to yours on your side there.
Oh yeah, pretty much as often as I can.
I respect that.
Well, we could try and play a tune while we go.
I'd love that.
Yeah, jam session.
Why don't you both
Yes,
make
session.
performance checks?
Oh,
Max
yes.
is gonna pull out his pan flute stealthily and just...
Oh, that is a nat 20 plus 10. That is a 30.
we are
Holy cow.
And I didn't roll a
You're generous.
30. Hang on. Performance. That's an
Just gotta
18.
impress.
18. So the two of you seamlessly transition into playing a duet rather than a solo. It sounds wonderful. I would say even Adrian cracks a smile, but it's her character, so I wouldn't do it.
She
Does
doesn't
Adrian-
dislike it.
She doesn't smash it.
King Jazz is gonna elbow Adrian, be like, "Come on, it's a good tune. We're gonna hear lots more. Especially if these two are traveling with us, we're gonna be hearing a lot of music. I
Yeah,
even
you are.
times two." He pulls out a little pan flute from like his pack. See, it's from home. It's made of mammoth bone.
I wasn't complaining.
Oh,
All right, so you make it. You make it to the. You walk for about an hour. You see this small town hidden in this small grove. The trees are kind of withering and dying in the winter, as trees tend to do. And the first day of winter has seemed to hit pretty hard. The ground is already covered in snow. It seems that when winter hits Theroboros, it hits fast. Maybe that's why they wait for the first day of winter to do this festival. You walk into the town. It is very small. It has one road. At the end is a circular dirt turnaround, basically. There are 6 buildings on each side, and then there are like shacks and houses that kind of surrounded in the woods. So there's like one main row of like businesses and shops, and at the very end is a large bank. The pillars are made of marble, and the bank is completely out of place in this town. The bank looks like it belongs in the bigger cities like Hagramar, or if you're from Albion, Maywood. But here it sits in little dusty old penny pool. You see one sign kind of covered in snow at the top, but it hangs in the breeze a little bit. It simply says the Blue Dragon. Looks like a tavern.
Now, I'm no expert with places. I don't think I've ever been here before, but that's probably where we're gonna look.
I think that's a fair wager to make.
All right, so you head in.
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of peek through the windows. Looks a little dead inside, but for a small town, maybe it's fine. You open up the door. Behind the bar, you don't see anybody. It's nobody's tending the bar. It seems from your angle, at least. Look over in the corner. There's a few human men and women who raise their mugs to you and happy candle nights. And they seem to be well into their cups already, celebrating the festival a day early. Maybe they took a 4-day weekend. That's about it in this bar, unless you want to investigate around.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like friendly people already, I'll just be like, hi there, friends. We're looking for a Marty. Y'all know a Marty Matchborough anywhere? Is he here?
I'm gonna start looking for employee-only doors.
Okay. As soon as you say Marty, you hear a small, quiet voice say, "That is me."
Oh no!
The robot?
Oh,
I'm so
no.
happy. I'm so happy.
Uh,
Where's the voice?
You head over towards the voice, and you look underneath the bar, and you see a small, circular metal thing. But it has a giant eye in the center. It has one giant eye in the center. It has 2 little dainty wings off the back that don't look like they're functioning at all. And he has 2 little brass legs, not with feet, but just ovals. And he's kind of polishing a mug, as bartenders do, but it almost looks like he's doing it because he was programmed to, rather than actually cleaning. The mug looks shining, not a dirty mug.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Have
any?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, have any of like our characters seen this kind of creature before, or is this just like some crazy new thing?
The only people who would probably be... Actually, you know, I'm going to say no. Nobody's seen this before. A very rare creature, only on one continent that I don't think anyone's been to. So
Adrian is horrified.
kill it.
I am fascinated.
I still have.
on the unactivated Scream Hoarder, and I'm not going to say it.
I'm feeling slightly uncomfortable.
I'll have an ale, I think.
Walks over, pours a cup. Here you are. One
Is there
gold.
coins? Is there a coin slot?
There is.
That's the best.
In his shoulder, he just. Boink. Thank
Oh,
you.
man.
Turns around, begins polishing same exact mug.
King Jax turns to the wrong turns. Now that's what I call service.
I love it here.
Adrian, like, visibly looks disgusted.
I'm still looking for a door of any kind.
Oh yeah, make an investigation check.
Thank you. That's a hot 7.
Hot 7. You find a door, because doors aren't that hard to find, and you kind of like peek through, and it's just there's one like mattress on the floor, and that's it. There's nothing else in the room.
So this thing, I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it sleeps. I don't know what it does. I don't like it. And I'd like to get our errands done and not be around it for much longer. Because honestly, it scares me.
I'm like fascinated and like watching it like with like little like cat like head jerks like when they're like watching something like skitter around just like yeah hey my friend Marty, my friend, we were sent from Risker over at the what is the city, Brass City, is that just like what it is?
Bookends. Yeah.
Bookends, couldn't remember neither.
That's
Was
fine. He looks up. He's like, "Risker is good friend. What do you need?"
Ah, that's great. You see, he's a good friend of ours too. He needs a little. He's a bit short on ale for the festivities for tonight. He was wondering if there was anything maybe you could part with, help him out. Says he'll hit you back next time with a favor.
Adrian, like, leans over to Kane Jax and is like, this thing has friends.
Oh.
He seems like a nice guy. He got me an ale right away. Took the gold coin without any arguing. I should have tipped him, really. That was really bad. Terrible manners on my part.
He continues. He says, "Let me check," and he kind of robotically walks off to the door that Yaramir is peeking through. Without even acknowledging Yaramir, he just swings the door open. And Yaramir, you watch him as he just stares at a wall for like a minute without moving. He turns around and he walks out. He says, "I can spare 5 kegs."
No, I don't know where he found those kegs, but I don't see anything in here but a map.
Well, I'm sure he knows his inventory. I'm sure Risker would be greatly appreciated.
So was the whole
Appreciative.
just walking over here just an act then? Just
What do you mean?
I wasn't talking to you.
That's where I think.
That's his thinking room.
I love him.
Oh my god.
I love him so much.
So you wait a few minutes, but he pulls up. He pulls up 5 casks from under the bar. They're quite large casks, like a full size, not like a mini keg.
Nice. And he's just like lifting them himself with like no problem.
Yeah, you hear his joints kind of whir, and he sets it down.
Oh my goodness.
We just take these. Don't need
Thank
to check
you,
for, magical iron filings or anything. I don't trust the thing.
Take, drink, and he pours you a little bit, like a shot, out of one of them.
I'll pass that on to somebody who looks thirsty.
Oh, I will take it.
It's good ale.
Here, Blossom, that's yours.
Oh, well, this is lovely. I'm sure Risker will be most pleased.
Good ale.
Here, Blossom, that's yours. Yaramir will hoist you onto his shoulders and start heading for the exit. Quite business-like, I
Business
guess.
style, huh?
All
as
business.
if programmed to do so. As you walk out the swinging door, you hear "Happy Candle Nights" from behind the bar.
I love Marty.
I'm gonna turn around and head back into the bar.
Okay. Welcome.
And kind of, I'm gonna go over to the humans drinking in the corner
Hmm.
and just kind of wave my hand in front of their eyes a little bit.
They slap it out. What are you doing, friend?
I wasn't sure if you were all like the bartender.
First time in Pennypool?
Yes.
Marty's a good guy. Did you tip him?
King
Yaramir
Jack's-
just kind of stays stone-faced, and I didn't buy anything from him, so we're just picking these up.
You might want to tip him. It's pretty entertaining.
All right, King Jax is gonna pull Marty aside. He's gonna just start putting coins in the coin slots.
Every time you put an unsolicited coin in the coin box, a little burst of confetti comes out of his back. Just like,
Yes!
thank you.
I'm gonna do it like 10 more times.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna set down the casks and kind of just sit on one somewhat lightly, so as to not to break it, because I'm a hefty boy. So, is this whole town run by robots? There's not Warforged.
No, honestly, nobody knows what it is around here, to be honest. But he's a pretty great guy. He's really helpful. Even when he clocks out, you can come in and ask him for a favor. He's down to do it. Obviously, tip him so you get to see the show. And he points over to Kang Jax, just inserting coin after coin.
Gang Jacks, don't spend all your money on the confetti.
Does
Oh, I'm like absolutely putting some coins in too.
Stop putting all your money. It's the same thing every time.
I'm just picturing this carpet of confetti on the ground afterwards.
And just like two giant fuzzy people, like
Gonna have to clean all that up.
A poor guy.
So, do you know who? Did somebody put him here? Did he?
No idea. He
I'm-
showed up. You know what? I don't know when he did show up. That's a great question. I've lived here all my life, and he's been around, so it's a good friend.
Yaramir squints again and picks up his kegs. Happy Candle Fest,
You too, friend.
and there was absolutely nothing of threat in that building, but I'll be damned if I'm not immediately suspicious.
as you exit. Happy candle nights.
Mhm.
Beck will pick up one of the remaining casks and follow after Yoramir.
Okay.
I
So,
will like
if-
make a show of pretending to try to help take one, but I feel like I probably won't.
Like, oh,
I'm like,
wow.
oh no, well, and I can just go off.
Gang Jax, I think it's on you and me to take the brunt of this one.
King Jax is carrying two, like rolling one with his foot.
So, you said that there was one really big bank-looking thing?
Yeah, it says the Brass Bank on the front. And it has marble columns, and the door is made of brass, as is the motif around these parts. There's a few people going in and out, well dressed, three-piece suits, banker types.
What are you said there were a couple other buildings in this kind of turnaround here?
Yeah, everything else is just like a wooden potion shop. You head in and you investigate all these places. There's basically a grocery store where there's apple vendors and bread. It's like an open market area where they sell cruddy food. None of it looks good. It's pretty stale and old. You walk into the potion place and they have one potion available and it's like bullshit. Like you sniff it and it's nothing.
Water. So, are those run by the robot automaton? Not Warforged?
Nope. They're just human men and women.
Just a bunch of humies.
Just a bunch of humies.
I feel like we need to stop inside that bank at the very least. Something doesn't fit right here.
What do you-
Where would we leave our casks?
Well, we take them with us.
What do you mean something doesn't fit right? I mean, seems like a cute little town with weird, wonderful bartender guy. I loved that Marty, y'all.
Maybe I'm just not as trusting as all of you, but I don't know. There's something really off about the bank, the unattended bar.
It wasn't unattended.
I don't think that. I think you could tip over that bartender and it wouldn't notice for about a week.
Yeah, we probably honestly didn't even need to like ask for the booze.
Well,
What's that?
What was that? You kind of cut out.
Oh, we probably technically didn't even need to ask.
Right. I was looking, and of course I'm a better person than this, but I feel like we could have just hopped that bar and taken all 5 casks, and nothing would have happened. Maybe.
well, I mean, we could do a lot of things, my friend.
And I could put a certain sword with a certain name through you, but I don't.
now, it's candle nuts, y'all.
Well, if you don't want to check out this town, I guess we don't need to. But something about
I
it
mean,
seems
if-
a little off to me.
If there's something like you really want to check out, if we got our ale, we're not in like an immediate rush to get back, right? It's not near and dark just yet.
Nope. It's about noon.
Yeah.
Not even. Yeah.
This was one small favor that actually turned
Well-
out to be one small favor.
Right. Well, you said we saw a potion shop. I mean, we could probably re-up on a few things besides just those jellies. I wouldn't mind getting like an actual liquid. If they have anything.
Sure,
Might be worth
let's-
checking out. Maybe, then you can ask whatever questions you got.
Sounds good to me.
It's an elven woman behind the little counter. Like as I mentioned, she has one potion in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, welcome, friends."
Hi, my name is Blossom. This is our first time here in this lovely little town y'all got going here.
Ah, yes, it is the best, isn't it? It's nice to get out of the big cities.
Oh, yeah, is that where you're from usually?
Oh, yes, I was born and raised in Hagramar.
Oh,
Not
wonderful.
sure if you've ever been, but it's a lovely town.
That's where I'm based out of myself, my
Oh,
friend.
very nice, very nice. What brings you by?
Well, I mean, we were hoping to maybe procure some, if you got any healing ointments or potions, things like that would be wonderful. I'm not sure how you are in like your healing kit or anything like that for backups, King Jax, actually. Because that's actually been needed a few times.
Well, I don't have anything
Do I
in the
know?
way of healing, but let me tell you what I do have. And she
Oh, yeah.
picks up the one potion that just clear water, no smell. And she's like, "This is a wish potion. It's a very powerful spell that only high-level magicians can cast. But I have concentrated it into a simple vial." And she's very proud of herself. and she
Sight
holds-
check.
All right, go for it.
Hey,
I would also like to know if I believe
feel
her.
like Adrian's gonna fall for it regardless. I saw that perk up.
Insight check. I don't trust this. Oh,
I totally trust her.
Oh, beans.
beans. Yeah, she is. This is the word of Boolin Yang with that nat one.
Ah!
Adrian is going to make an insight check at disadvantage because she really wants to believe it.
Okay. Self-diss, nice.
Self-imposed disadvantage. I think
That's a good
is one of
time.
the best
It's
role
good- it's a
play.
good-
I wish
one.
more people would think about that.
Play
14.
D&D.
14.
Self-disadvantage more often.
You get that she really believes what she's selling.
Hmm.
How much are you looking for a bauble like this?
Now, hear me out. Before I tell you, this is the most powerful thing you could buy in all of the realms, okay?
It's gonna be expensive.
5,000. Very nice price for what I'm giving you. You could wish for 5,001 gold if you wanted.
Kane Jackson.
Wait,
it
hold
should be
on,
worth
hold on.
10,000. That's how powerful that is.
Exactly, my friend.
All right. Well, that's an insight check from you, boy.
Okay.
Adrian's like,
That's a solid 7. It's a little steep, but that potion might be worth it. Look,
Adrian's shoulders kind of slump because there's no way she has that much.
I've got just under 500 from my base pay. How much do you have? We might be able to pull together and get this thing.
Oh, no, I just spent 10 of my gold pieces on Mr. Marty back there.
Yeah.
I knew. I didn't think it would be this soon, but I knew that would screw us over eventually.
We're only 10 gold pieces. I've only got the 500. I don't know how much Beck's packing, but I don't imagine she's gonna want to be paying out for our wish juice.
I don't travel with lots. I kind of make it where I arrive, and then I spend it as I'm leaving.
The Aramir's going to turn around back to the wonderful potion seller we have here, and doesn't look like we could scrape up that much gold for it, but I do have a couple questions if you don't mind.
Of course.
Listening to me talk your ear off for a bit. We were just at the tavern, the watering hole, whatever you want to call it. Do you know what the deal is with the bartender?
Oh, Marty, a dear family friend. He's been here for generations.
You know who put him there?
Oh, no, I don't think anybody really does. I've never really asked, I guess. It's always seemed quite normal.
Okay, and last question, I promise we'll get out of here right away. Sorry to bother you in your
Not
your
a worry.
potion
It's
selling
kind of dead
business.
today.
Yeah, it is. What's up with the big building that's completely out of place with the rest of these? I mean, you've got like pretty
Oh, yeah.
standard buildings and big marble brass. Looks like it.
You mean
Looks
the
like
brass
someone
bank?
That's the one.
Oh, well, it was built by the chapters years ago. It's a nice place to hide their cash. It's not well protected, but they don't like to keep all of their money in one place. They're pretty smart. And in return for housing the bank, they give us protection. So
Damn you, morality. King Jackson might actually.
Well,
Who keeps their money in the bank?
a lot of the chapters, a lot of the different chapters do. I don't know. You could probably find anywhere up to 1 million gold in there if you really
you
wanted to.
know.
Telling us this incredibly candidly, and I admire your trust in all of us. That will
It's
be
not
all
my
for
money.
today. Thank you.
My friend now, it seems like this town is pretty fond of the bartering ways. Is there maybe something that we could perhaps trade, or a favor we might exchange for this handy potion you've developed?
I'll tell you what. If you can find me the 5 herbs that I used to brew this potion in a larger supply than I was able to, when you return, I will give it to you for free.
Alright, look, Colonel Sanders, where can we find these herbs?
She gives you a list. They are spread across the hemisphere. Different continents, different areas. I will detail it later for you in Discord, but the closest one is probably Glitter Gold, which is like 14 days by ship, and even then it's going to be impossible to find a ship in the winter, and with the chaos storms, yeah, like, good luck. So that's the
King
closest
Jax
one.
leans over to Adrian, tries to whisper as softly as he can. Perhaps robbing the bank might be in our options if it means you're in the boy.
I can't condone it.
Oh, sorry, that was the sword talking, not me.
Well, I mean, at least we know this place is here. We can always come back when we get some more gold. Seems like the chapters do like giving us some work, putting us through our paces. I guess bunch of newbies like us.
Well, I hope to see you soon. And she hands you the note, and she's like, in fact, I'll wish for it.
Ah, see what you did there.
Very funny.
Yaramir crumbles outside here. That.
Your friend
Beck
doesn't like
is
puns. Sorry, go ahead.
Beck's still outside. She never went in. And so she's kind of like looking around. She pulls out a journal and opens it up to a specific page towards the back and writes the town name, which is, remind me,
Penny Pool.
Penny Pool.
Penny Lane.
Yes. So she writes that and closes her journal and then just kind of waits for the rest of the team.
Okay. You wait a little bit. Rest of the
Did
crew
I
joins
see
you.
that?
Yeah, I would like to say that Adrian took this list and is holding it now. of
Okay.
things, spices and herbs.
Okay. Rebecca, are you trying to hide your journal writing?
No, not trying to hide it, but not necessarily like, look at what I'm doing either.
Yeah, you probably see her jotting something down in the journal. Thank you.
What language are you writing in?
It's common.
Something I can write. I can read.
Canejax can speak it, but he's not very good at reading it yet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's actually adorable. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I'm out of things to be cautious about, and Yarmir
Do
kinda
you feel better?
sits
Yeah,
on
how you
his, sits
feeling,
on his
my
keg
friend?
outside and still don't like it, but
I mean, the
Figure.
city's under.
yeah, it's under brass chapter control, and they seem to be on the up and up.
I mean, that's us now, my friend.
So strange that you have such a economic center around 6 or 7
It's
buildings.
now, my friend.
So strange are relatively dead looking, and there's a lot of houses for how few people I've seen today.
Well, the least suspecting place, I mean, they would suspect the big bank with the million gold pieces allegedly laying around. It would be in the big city, which could be cities tend to attract organized crime, right?
Small
I was
towns
expecting a
equal
euphemism
safety.
there, and then he just went right to it.
Yes, Beck is stepping is smelling what I'm stepping in right now.
Yes, I mean, I'm not sure I saw you step in anything, but I understand what you're trying to say.
It's an old Furbolg figure of speech.
Ah, I understand. I'll try to remember that one.
Well, we got our ale.
Yeah, I think we're probably pretty good to head on back. Get ready to celebrate the start of the candle nights, yeah?
I think so.
Alright, so you depart. Who's carrying what?
Question.
You have 5 casts. Yeah, sure.
On that list of herbs, now that I think of it, is there any that Canejax would recognize as like super important to his religion?
Probably one of them. I don't have the list in front of me though.
Alright, because he's got that special, hey, Boolin, come save me herb.
You probably do have, just because you probably have like a little smorgasbord anyways, you probably do have like the one from Albion, I'll say,
Okay.
already.
Okay. Oh, we should tell Beck about how I'm actually a royalty. I think that's a really good way to get there. Oh, and Yarmir doesn't know either. I think we should, on the way back, I could tell the story about how I became the king of the ogres.
Sure, King Jax. I would love to hear your take on that story.
That sounds like a ornamental title, considering you are, last I checked, not an ogre.
Well, actually, you might be surprised.
There we were in the forest. There were some mean ogres. And they
I'll
had...
start playing dramatic lute flyer music.
Adrian, have I told you this story? Maybe I did when we got really hammered the other night.
She's gonna lie and say yes.
There we were. There are these mean ogres.
15
Beck's enthralled.
And let me tell you, to explain ogres in the giant folk culture, they're kind of like the inbreeding ones. They're from Alabama, okay?
I imagine that Adrian says, or she lies and does so very well, and then you just keep plowing right through to the story.
And then they were like, "We'll grind you to dust," and I was like, "Please, no, I am worthy." And they were like, "Yeah, prove it." So they were smashing this tree, right? And so I went and smashed tree, and I smashed tree so well they made me king. And then I met a guy named Motherfucker, and I converted him to my religion.
I forgot!
His
This,
name was MF.
Took a wonderful turn.
Right.
That was a lovely story. Thank you for sharing.
Why doesn't everyone make perception checks while they're walking?
Canejax is actually going to roll at disadvantage because he's very excited about his story. And
How much he won?
Opposing disadvantage.
21,
15.
11.
15.
Honestly, I think self-opposing disadvantage is a really fun thing to do.
It
and
really
works
is.
really well narratively.
You know, I roll with disadvantage, and I get the same number. I got an 11.
Hey,
What
I
about-
also
What?
rolled with disadvantage and I got a 13.
Okay, well,
Beck was really into that story.
yeah.
It was a good story. That actually
everyone-
happened. Go watch the VOD.
Everyone notices that the ground is kind of rumbling a little bit.
That's weird. Is it like
Not
giving
a
us
fan.
like volcano flashbacks?
Not as intensely. It seems to be concentrated underneath of you.
I check the orb.
Orb is
Oh.
good to go. Nothing's
All
wrong
right.
with the orb.
Alright.
Swirling music notes every once in a while.
Do I?
I'm gonna grab Adrian. Oh,
Do I? How do the kegs feel? Do they feel different?
Nope. Heavy.
Oh god, beer elementals.
Does it like? Can we feel if it's like coming like from the ground? Like I don't know. Can we do like? Is it like a natural like earthquake or something? Like
So I'm gonna say, as you are all trying to discern what this is, I need you to roll initiative.
oh no!
We did not.
But
figure
we're
it
gonna
out
take
in
a
time.
break quick.
What?
Because we need a break. So we'll be right back.
Ah, I dropped my die. That was on stream.
What I missed?
And we're back. That's what you missed. All right, welcome back. Our party is hauling casks of ale back for the festival when the ground suddenly started shaking and they were ambushed by some creatures. Nobody is surprised because of their previous perception rolls, so you don't have to sit out around. You're all well aware that something hinky was going on, but you watch as Blossom, you bend down to like touch the ground and try to see what's going on, and out of it, this gross like insect starts to pop out, and it unfolds to the size of a horse, and there's 3 of these around you. At the same time, they have hard exteriors, they have 4 legs. They're just really strange creatures. They have 4 nasty claws, and at the same time, these 3 little swarms of red little mosquitoes come out of the trees. They have long suckers. What's the name for that? Proboscis?
Proboscis, yeah.
They have long proboscis and probosci, and they're just 3 little swarms, just angry and mad, and they're eyeing up those casks.
No, protect the beer.
And unfortunately, the wolf-like or the insect-like horse-sized creatures are gonna go first.
Do they look like mobs?
No, they do not. Thank
No.
goodness. All right, so the Kruthic is going to attack Adrian. One's going to attack Blossom, and one's going to attack Beck.
This is fine.
They're going to get it. No, they're not. They didn't surprise you. So let's see what that is. Shoot, I should have had this open. All right, so that's a 20 even to hit Blossom.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
All right, and then this one is not very good. That's a 11 to hit Adrian.
That's not gonna hit.
All right, and then that's a not good either. A 13 to hit Beck.
Does not hit.
All right, so the one hits
Ha!
Blossom.
You suck.
Oh, they have multi-attack. Never mind. We're gonna
Stupid insects.
Oh no, multi-attack. We're fucked.
A 20 to hit Adrian, a 15 to hit Beck, and a 9 to hit Blossom.
All right, so second one misses.
Second one misses.
All right, so 1 hit on those 2.
Come at me. Ugh.
8 piercing damage and 6 piercing damage. Blossom, you take the 6. Adrian, you take the 8. You watch as one of their nasty, like scythe-looking claws stabs into you and finds a purchase between the plates of your armor, and you watch this gash and you see your blood kind of spurt onto the ground, and you're not technically surprised, but you are, narratively surprised that this is going on. That's their whole move. So Blossom, you're up. You get to retaliate now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab at the fucker that got me with my rapier, and then again with my my dagger.
All right.
Let's see. That's a 19 to hit,
Yep, that hits.
and 9 piercing. Oh, plus sneak attack. Hang on, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a travesty. It's like my whole deal.
That's my whole thing.
Oh man, and that's good sneak attack.
Raggedy.
And 16 sneak attack damage.
16. And what was the original? Sorry.
9.
Nine.
9 piercing.
All right, so. that
And then
is
dagger.
25.
Whoop. And dagger is a 14 to hit.
14 misses. So it just glances off this hard exterior. It's like plates on plates of this hard, like chitin type material, not kittens. Chitin. Yes. Thank you.
All right. And I will use my movement to get the hell out of dodge, and it cannot take an opportunity because I made an attack against it.
Okay. All right. Next up is Yaramir.
All right.
You got these 2, we'll just call them Kruthics next to you. Kind of flanking you almost.
Okay.
And then you've got these little red guys swarming around in the distance.
Well, I'm going to go for this one right here.
All right.
And I'm going to take the quarterstaff off my back and kind of heft it a little bit in my hands, kind of get a feel for it. And I'm going to take one swing right at this one that I pinged.
Go for it. Can somebody check if our audio is still good?
Look at that. Look at that.
That's a good nat 20 for the first swing with the new quarterstaff. That
Oh,
definitely hits.
Oh, I am feeling it. All right, so that does damage. That is, and then I also with savage attacks, I roll a
Nice.
d6 and add.
Wow. So you take
Alright.
your new quarterstaff and you just smack this thing across the side of its face, and you watch as all these plates just come off of it, and like its armor, you're breaking through its exterior. New quarterstaff is pretty nice.
And I'll kind of say that to myself in Orcish. And does anyone, back to you, speak Orcish? Or
Nope.
Orc, I guess is the official. All right,
Nope.
perfect.
Nope.
I can scheme in private. All right, so
Bonus.
he's going to. Oh, I'm still going. Don't even start with this bonus stuff here.
All right.
So with martial arts, I can take a unarmed strike as a bonus action. So
Mhm.
we are going to do that. 18 to hit.
That just
Same one.
hits. Yep.
Okay. And that will do 6 bludgeoning
more.
damage.
Okay.
And then I also have an extra attack because I know you love it when I wreck all your stuff. So that will be another swing from the quarterstaff.
All right.
That's another
Oh,
nat 20.
shit. Yeah, that'll hit.
Holy.
We like this.
Yep.
Okay.
New character,
Yes!
new dice.
Mm-hmm.
All
That
right.
is
11 more
11 more
plus.
plus 2. So that's a 13 total on that last one.
All right, with this flurry of attacks, you watch as your new comrade, Yaramir, just smushes this thing into a pile of bits. There's plates everywhere, there's like intestines, and it's really gross, and Yaramir's just like bam, bam. It is reduced to a pile of nastiness.
Yarmir's kind of gonna say something under his breath in Orc again, and ready up for the next one. That's not
Alright.
necessarily any particular action because I'm finally tapped out of them, but
All right. Next
That's-
up is the beer suckers.
No!
You watch as these swarms of red, you recognize them as surges, but they're a little different. They're acting like they know what they're doing. They're not mindless creatures. This one's going to run up to a cask. This one's going to rush up to a cask. And this one is 2. And they're going to
Back
make
away from the beer.
they're going to make 3 attacks at the casks.
No!
Not the beer.
It's a bad rolls, but casks aren't
Because
hot
you're
to hit.
evil.
All right, those all 3 are going to hit a wooden cask. You watch as their proboscis sticks out, and it has a small spike on the end, and it punctures through the wood. And you watch as beer starts to fill up their noses. And as these swarms are around the cask, the ones that get the beer fly away. But the swarm itself is still centered on the casks. That is their turn. King Jax, you are up.
These motherfuckers.
Stick with our beer.
Free action. King Jax is gonna get a little smirk as he says it this time, almost reveling in the prospect of violence. Scream horror.
Oh.
You watch as the sword extends and these scarred, ghostly hands claw up your arm and start to leave marks.
And as they're doing that, I'm gonna like raise the sword up and just kind of like give out a loud word in giant. And I am casting Word of Radiance. So all the creatures around me within a 5-foot rate, within 5 feet of me, have to make a Constitution saving throw versus my DC 16.
Wow, they rolled really well, but not very good. Okay, so the Kruthic, the big insect, rolled a 15.
That's a
And then the beer suckers rolled a 15 as well. So
Does that also include me?
No,
you
that's
can
just my
designate it, I
choice.
think. Yeah.
I get to choose.
Yeah.
Well, I
So-
succeed anyway, so there.
isn't there another Kruthic 5 feet diagonally?
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. That one passes with 17.
Alright, that one won't take any damage.
Okay.
AoE spells for the win! The 2 creatures that failed will take 6 radiant damage.
6. Okay, you watch as this energy spurts out from King Jax's as he stomps on the ground, and a few of the beer suckers kind of float over and die, and they just kind of go pale and hit the ground and just kind of skid. The Kruthic looks a little beat up as well, but he's still kicking.
Alright, that will be my turn.
All right. Beck, you're up. Your first go.
All right. So she's gonna kind of face the horde that's around the cask that she's the nearest to,
Okay.
and she's gonna pull out her rapier and just kind of swing at him.
All right. Go for it.
She can hit any. That is an 18.
That'll surely hit. Yep.
Awesome. So then that is a 10.
10. Okay, so you pierce one of the beer suckers to the keg and just kind of fling it off your sword. Then you go back and you get another one, and you're starting to run through these things now. They're not very strong, but some of the beer is getting away with the other ones.
No.
Anything else?
No, I think that's all I do for now.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I want to do.
All right, Adrian, you are up.
That's me. I'm gonna attack. Are there two things in front of me? Or are they like?
I lapped them. Sorry. There.
Oh,
There's
okay.
one of the big insects and the beer suckers.
I'm gonna attack the big insect.
All right.
A 15 to hit.
That misses. So you take your sword and you slam it down, and it just skids against its hard exterior.
All right, second attack. I have a feeling this one will hit. That's going to be a 23.
23 hits. Yep.
And then I'm also going to use. I'm going to use. I'm going to make a sweeping attack.
Okay.
So that I can deal damage to the other creature as well.
Cool. Yeah. Go for it.
So that's 11 damage, and I don't know if I need to roll for the other one as well. Oh, it's this. No, actually, I had a superiority.
Yeah. I was
Math, it hurts. 12 damage
12 damage. Okay, so both of them, right?
to both of them.
Okay, so you hit the Kruthic, the larger insect, and you learn from the error of your first strike, and it carves through its underbelly. You swing around and hit the beer suckers, and you fell the entire swarm of that one after the Word of Radiance also hurt it. So that swarm is done. They managed to get no beer away.
Ha!
Is that it? Bonus action?
I think that's it. I think. Yeah.
All right. So this Kruthic, the only one... Oh, no, there's two left. The Kruthic is going to run around. Adrian, you get an attack of opportunity.
Ha
If
ha
you
ha.
want it. King Jax, you would as well.
Yes,
Yes, want
please.
that.
All right.
24.
Three
Hits.
attacks? Yes, please, my dude. I don't have... Scream Hoarder's still the same amount to hit.
11.
Dirty
11
20.
11 misses, 20 hits.
No, 11 damage.
Oh, 11 damage, sorry. Alright.
I got a 24 to hit.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. Alright. King Jax, damage.
It's 2d6, right, for Scream Hoarder? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
Alright. That is going to be 10 slashing damage.
Damage. Still alive, barely hanging on. It limps over to the cask, and it's going to make its multi-attack on the cask.
These things really want this beer.
They do.
Could see someone.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so you watch as this Kruthic takes both of its piercing claws and just rips it in the center, and ale begins to spill onto the ground. It begins lapping it up. That's his move. Blossom, you are up. Oh, the other one's going to do the same thing.
Okay.
And that one, this cask as well, begins to spill onto the ground. Both of these casks are now have holes in them, and ale is flowing out. Blossom, you are up, though.
Oh no! Alright, so the big guy just took, was it just the suckers that were getting the ale out of the casks?
So the Kruthics are just ripping them open, and the suckers are
Okay.
stealing it.
All right. Then I'm gonna move back in to attack the big guy again. So rapier. Oh, that's not so good. That's only a 13.
Does not hit.
All right. But offhand attack. Oh, that's a natural 20.
That'll hit.
So bow, 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 bow. 6, and then that's another good sneak attack. Sorry. 18 damage.
All right, it goes down. So you come up behind it, and you just take your rapier. You have a rapier, right? Yep, rapier, and stab it into it from the back, and it just kind of folds in half and falls over as it's ripping the cask open with its final breath.
And then I'll just use my movement to get over to the suckers.
All right. Yaramir, you're up.
All right. Funny question. Did you change the map for me?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm gonna refresh roll 20 then. In the meantime, though, I can kind of say what I'm gonna do once the roll 20 timer comes down here.
There's a big guy in front of you, and there's a swarm to your left.
Okay. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, in 1 second, I'm going to cast. Yeah. Okay. There we go. We're good. I'm going to cast minor illusion right here.
All right.
And that will be a. I'm going to create an image of a beer cask right there.
All right, cool. I will make perception checks for all of the crew and see if they fall for it.
Love it.
You see a few of both of the crew thicks, the bigger ones, they start moving towards the new cask that you created. The beer suckers seem to be able to smell it innately somehow, and they're staying home. But
okay, and then I was kind of hoping that would work better. Yeah, I guess I'll. Oops, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Let me just draw all over the board real quick here. I'm going to move just a little bit over here to this, in between the spear sucker and the.
All right. All right, the suckers are up next. They're good, just keeping on, sucking beer. You watch as another one flies off this round. And these things are fast, like they're gone. Some of the beer's getting away. Cane Dress, you're up.
Damn beer. So, that's it. Oh wait, no, I don't. Oh yeah, that's it. Call lightning on this crew thick.
Yeah.
Over it. I'm over this. I need him to make me a save. I'll tell you what save in just a second. Dexterity, yeah.
8.
Yeah, he fails.
Did I do it?
So I'm gonna hold the sword up and spin it around to get the clouds going around, and then I'm gonna bring it down to bring lightning, and I'm going to also then Bull and be with me. We're going to use the channel divinity to deal max damage.
Okay, it's dead. Yeah. You fry it. There's a streak of lightning comes down, and there's frost kind of emanating around it. The weird mixture of intense heat and intense cold together that your spells produce, and this thing just fries underneath of it. And then as it dies, it just ices over completely, like a statue almost. It's dead.
Nice.
All right.
That should be my turn, unless anyone's hurting.
No, I don't think so. Beck, you're up.
All right. She is going to turn around to the cask that got ripped open.
Okay.
And that's that one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So she is going to just move a little bit closer. Gosh, there we go. Maybe.
I don't think I have it logged right, but I'll do it.
No worries. Yeah, she moves a little closer, and then she's just going to put her hand on it and cast Mending.
Somebody took Mending, the one quest that needs mending.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You watch as all the wood starts to seal back together, creating this gap where the hole was. And it looks like a fine cask again.
Nobody's taking this beer.
Bonus action?
I think I'll use the rest of my movement to get over to the other cask that got opened.
Okay.
So,
I'll put you over
so
there.
I can get ready for that next time.
Okay, you run over there. You kind of hop over the other cask. All right. Adrian, you're up.
I attack,
All right.
of course. I'm gonna move to this last dude that's not an insect. I can't remember what you called him.
Kruthic.
Kruthic. And I'm gonna swing. Swing. I would assume my 25 hit.
25 does hit.
Don't worry me like that. 12.
12 damage.
12 damage.
It goes down.
Yes.
Oh,
I
actually, never mind. That was
have
supposed to be over here. But
more
okay.
movement, so I'm gonna move and attack the insect next to Blossom.
All right, go for it.
That will be a 18 to hit,
That definitely hits.
and that one will also be a 12.
All right. So that thing goes down as well. You finish the swarm, so you just put your longsword out to the side and just start running sideways as your blade catches both of these in one fell swoop. And the beer suckers are no more over there.
Stupid beer suckers.
Kruthics are all dead, so they're out. Blossom, you're up. There's just that one swarm of beer suckers left.
All right, I will zip on over and take a swing at it with my rapier.
Go for it.
Let's see what we get. Come on. 16 to hit,
Yeah, that'll hit.
and that's gonna be 11, 19 damage.
Yeah, overkill. You run over and you just start stabbing them with your rapier, impaling one after another like a shish kebab, and then you just kind of use your boot and kick them off. And that is the battle.
That's what you get for messing with our ale.
There's a few holes here and there that's kind of spilling ale out. There's one cask that is still ripped open.
I'll take care of that.
Okay. You run
One
over.
person who took
Becca
mending.
kind of like walks to all of them and is casting mend on all of them, and like you can hear her. She's not being very quiet, but she's like, you know, I'm a firm believer that ale should only hit the ground when you're pouring one out in tribute.
Aw, can we keep her?
I like her.
Blossom's like, I think we're gonna get along just fine, my friend.
So
I'd
you watch,
say
you
she's
watch
doing
as
all
they
of
all
that.
seal up. All the holes are filled. The big one with the big gap completely seals itself. Obviously with the hole back.
King Jax is gonna be like, I'd say those bugs risked it for risk, cause that's
Oh, King Jax.
A few of the beer suckers, the early ones did manage to get away, but you think no harm, no foul. They won't notice.
hopefully.
All right, so you continue on. Does anyone have conversations on the way home, or are we just getting the quest done?
I'm gonna take a look at my arm, and I'm gonna medicine check it.
Go for it.
I'm good at this. Famous last words. Oh, that's a 19. I am good at this.
Okay. I mean, you don't see any adverse effects. Definitely creepy. You're not in pain or anything like that, but you can feel like an unholy presence. But you knew that when you picked the sword up.
Lynn, protect me.
All right.
Y'all right there, King Jax?
Well, this sword is dark magic indeed. I don't feel bad in the brain or physically. It just looks creepy.
Maybe you shouldn't use that thing too much.
Well, I suppose, but it's nice. It's very powerful.
I see that. Maybe for emergencies, like not like a bunch of bugs and stuff, but like next lava monster, you've like fucked that guy up,
Perhaps. The problem is I'm pretty much, what's the word they use? I'm pretty much worthless without weapon in hands if they do get up in my face.
Need to learn yourself some martial arts. Big fuzzy mitts like those, you could do some serious damage.
Oh, I would love to learn the ways of the punchy. I never really knew someone who was good with the fisticuffs. Most giants prefer big bonk.
We'll have to spar sometime. I might be able to teach you a thing or two.
All right.
Monclevel.
Also smash cut to Candle Knight, Kane Jack's doing the Spider-Man 3. Because Scream Hoarder is basically his black suit.
Oh no.
Alright, so journey continues on. You make it home to the snow-covered peaks that you know as the bookends. You wind down. I'm assuming you go straight to Risker's. Okay.
Always gotta risk it at Riskers.
Always have to. There is a fresh supply of T-shirts being printed on the inside when you enter. You go through to the back bar part. Risker's sitting there, basically setting up taps for the evening.
Gonna kind of poke my head in and follow through with 2 big kegs over my shoulder. Yeah, you got the ale.
I'll be bringing the last 3 in, rolling the one with my foot.
Well, I'll be damned. That was quicker than I even thought. Thank you kindly. Luck would have it that Kid actually gave me the gold to hand out because she figured that you guys would be coming down. So here's your 150 apiece.
Ah, excellent.
Very nice.
So,
you all get 150 gold.
Oh, fantastic. So,
Replenish the confetti machine.
what's the deal with the bartender there?
Oh, Marty?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Nothing out of the ordinary. You've never met a Warforged before?
I've met a Warforged.
Warforged.
That's
Yeah.
just a joke I like to play on people. Marty's a good friend. He said he came from Albion a while ago, but who knows?
See now, I never seen
Yeah,
any
just
of
a little-
Marty's
He also says he comes from the sky. He's a bit of a jokester, if you couldn't tell. I'm sure he told you guys a few.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like right pranker.
Yep, exactly.
Am I the only person who doesn't think something's right with this part?
I think he was adorable, and I love him.
Don't we?
I think that he was a good worker, and I think that that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I think he makes good freaking beer.
He does that too, and you see, now that you're talking to Risker a little bit, he's less cautious about where his eyes are, and you can kind of see his eyes, and every once in a while you do see like a strange, like brown, like kraken tentacle kind of wither its way out of the pupil. He kind of smacks the side of his head a little bit. He's a little embarrassed when that happens, but he's not trying as hard to hide it from you all now.
Aww.
He takes like a little shooter and tastes some of the ale, and he's like, that's the good stuff.
Yes, I know several creatures who would agree with you.
Well, thank you very much for this service. It won't be forgotten. Here's your drink passes, and he gives you like a little patch to put on the bottom of your chapters of brass patches.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing this way more proudly than I'm wearing that other thing.
Does it say like they get to risk it for free?
It just says
Risk it all.
Riskers, unfortunately. It's a very small thing. It's not big enough, but
All right, Mr. Risker, hear me out.
yes.
Marketing. Perhaps we could set you up. The T-shirt work. I'm saying we go big with this. Billboards.
What is a billboard?
Well, back where I'm from, they have these big stone slabs where they'll say like, "Oh, look, it's Tom's
South of the border.
You know a lot of Toms.
Well, there's a few Tom Furtaballs I know. Don't, you know, it's a common
Turn
name.
left at the next tree.
Thank you.
Horrible monsters crossing next 5 miles.
Huh. Well, I do have a bit of gold lying around from last night. I made quite the killing. Maybe you guys could search a good spot for me and set up a billboard for me.
Perhaps even like cut a little deal with brass members, you know, because that'll bring you good business. Because their bartender, he's a real jackass, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, are you talking about Rober? Yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's gonna have the worst candle nights if he doesn't believe in the arches.
Yeah, that's right. He should just go bake in a bucket of beans or something for all like.
I'm with you.
We're gonna do like the bro class.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see you, kind folks, this evening. You know, Candle Nights doesn't really start till tomorrow, but there's always that pre-game party.
Pre-game party, eh?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody has the day off tomorrow, so of course they're gonna be getting a little rowdy tonight.
Well, I mean, this is just excellent.
I understand, though, if you wanna, have your own private celebrations. And he looks at Blossom's wrist, where her little lock fur pattern is.
Oh, I like really awkwardly, just like, I mean, I think we like hanging out with everybody here, and I'll just like nonchalantly, but like really obviously, like hide it.
Okay. He's like, well, that's, entirely up to you. More business for me. I guess I'm not paying you. I guess I'm not making anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, word of mouth, and actually, I don't know if you got any entertainment lined up for the festivities tonight, but...
Beck's ears pop up, like...
Now we're talking. Okay, you're entertainers.
Also, if you get the rest of them drunk enough, I'm sure that'd be entertaining in and of itself.
I mean, I'm always entertaining, my friend.
Another good point. All right, well, you guys swing back around. I'm sure the whole crew is coming through.
Sounds good. I think this is actually a pretty good idea. Make a little extra coin. I like whisper to Beck.
Beck winks.
Yeah, she's picking up what I'm throwing down. Smelling what I'm stepping in.
Thank you.
I understood that reference.
I think, it's important that giant culture makes its way down here. Dwarves and giants kind of have muddy history, so we're trying to repair some of that.
I think it's important that we do what we can and make you feel more at home, King.
Oh, thanks. Now, is there any tabaxi customs I should become acquainted with? Or is it just he reaches into his pack, pulls out a big old bottle of wine with a bow tied around it? Or is it just about the wine?
Oh, King Jack!
Don't drink it all in one night.
You're not my supervisor!
Beck wants to go outside and find like a little bit of a secluded, not secluded, but where there aren't a whole lot of foot traffic area, and kind of just sit on the ground and put the orb in front of her and watch it.
Okay.
Be like, do something.
Make a perception check.
Is a 14.
14. Okay. Again, every once in a while you see a music note, but that's pretty commonplace now. Actually, after a while, it you just set it in the grass, and it does like roll ever closer to you. It doesn't really do anything. It just really wants to be around you. You wait for a while, and you hear like these whisperings in your head after a while, but you can't make any sense of them. It's like hush, 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 hush. And you can't really understand if there's words being said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell if it's malicious or benevolent. Just that something's happening.
She'll kind of sit there for a while and do that and just kind of listen.
Okay. You roll it away from you. It just rolls right on back. It seems to just want to be around you. It looks like you might have made a friend. All right. Anybody else want to do anything?
What time in the day is it now? Like that we've gone and...
I'd probably place it around 2 p.m.
Okay, so it's still not that late.
Nope,
All right.
plenty of day.
If we're exchanging gifts, Adrian will give everyone a card.
What does it say?
Like,
What kind of card? Is it like just like...
Yeah, what do they say?
The inside, they all say the exact same thing, and it's just like, Happy Candles Day, Adrian.
Adrian, thank you. I do have something for you. And he flips open pack, pulls out herbs from list for the wish potion.
Aww.
I know you were really interested in the potion, and I really didn't know what to get you since you don't really open up unless we get you, well, for lack of a better term, pissed drunk. So, I got you, I thought you might like these herbs.
Adrian is like genuinely touched by this. Like she's showing almost as much emotion as she showed earlier when King Jax gave Callan a present. Yes.
No.
Crying off that wet
Nods
blanket
a thank
slowly.
you and puts it away.
It's okay, I do hugs.
She like awkward side hug
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
with her good arm.
Aw.
Well, I was trying to find a doctor in town to get a new arm, maybe. or like backup arm in case, next time we meet Mr. Latrine, he leaves it behind on accident. So, yeah, but I didn't know how to approach that, and I didn't want to offend you.
Thank you. I think my arms are okay though.
Okay. Well, sounds good. He looks over at Yaramir. I got you something too. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I guess that's alright. I didn't get you anything, so don't
Oh, you're gonna love it.
expect anything. Okay.
He pulls out a book, and it says 1,000 Giants puns.
Ramir kind of just stares off into the distance and takes it and puts it. He thinks about putting it where his own book would be, but he decides against it and just kind of tucks it under his arm. That's very thoughtful of you.
Now, if anyone dares call you nerd again, you can say you're looking up ways to insult the furbog in the room, and I'll let you beat me up to look cool.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
And then you can use the insults from the book. It'll be perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. Alright, well, I guess for doing this, Blossom will reach in and hand King Jax a package of very fancy-smelling incenses to, add to your little collection.
I'll make sure to burn this at the height of the candle night. He's getting a little teary-eyed. Bulin will greatly appreciate these rare herbs and spices. Oh, they do smell really nice. Oh, and King Jax is gonna kind of just walk outside. He's embarrassed that he's crying.
Aw, that's super cute. And then she'll go, and I don't know if you'll like these really, Adrian. And it's actually she pulls out a set of cool kind of grippy gloves for holding on to your sword and stuff. I'll be like, I know you may be I don't know if you would want to have one for I don't know, decoration, but at least for your fighting arm, I thought maybe this might help.
Thank you, Blossom. This is very kind.
So what do you call the other arm if that one's the fighting arm?
Also fighting arm.
Shield arm.
Shield arm.
She kind of shows it off. She kind of turns her prosthetic a bit so you can see that there are actually holes in it where she can mount the shield.
Awesome. That's really cool.
So since she can't actually grip anything with that hand, it's just kind of mounted there.
That's
So
rad.
while you are all exchanging gifts, I imagine you're either in the foyer of the tavern or kind of out in the street. Either way, you see a little halfling that you met the night before. His name is Six Stones. He has a long, pointy nose, and his cloak trails behind him like it's a human-sized cloak, but he is very small. And he is running through the streets handing out what seems to be flyers. And he passes by all of you and gives you all one. And it is the Candle Night events, which you can now see in your Roll20. It is for those watching, I'm not going to read it all because it is huge, but it is a list of events that the Bookends, the town they are in, celebrates for Candle Nights, which is a celebration celebrating the arch existences, which are the faux gods of the world. You can scroll through there. There's a lot of fun events going on. A lot of them focus on certain arch existences, but a lot of them are also just run-of-the-mill events. At 9:30 every day, a circle dance begins and gift booths open. There's a few more intricate things later on. But that starts tomorrow, and there's your days laid out for you. You don't have to attend everything, but, if you're looking for something to do at a certain time, this is what's going on.
I love it.
Alright, so Six Stones runs through. He kind of trips over his cloak every once in a while and keeps running. Thank you. King Jax, you, with your passive perception in the distance, you notice that a storm is brewing. It seems a lot of clouds are kind of coalescing around this valley, in particular this valley.
I'm gonna move towards the valley because, that's my stuff. I'm a Tempest Cleric.
Okay. So you're in this little valley. You're enjoying the outdoors in the clouds gathering, and every once in a while there's a little spark of energy, electricity in it.
Kane Jax is totally interpreting this as his god deity trying to communicate with him. And he's going to get some of that fancy incense that Blossom just got him, and he's going to light it up in his incense burner and kind of hold it forward, almost like a lantern, so Bulin can guide him to where he wants him to be.
As you do so, the clouds move over towards the Dryad's Den, your home.
Okay, I'm going to go towards there.
Is everybody following, or is...
Yeah, I'll be... Okay.
Yaramir isn't.
Beck
Okay,
would have seen them starting to leave and got up and grabbed the orb and left.
Okay.
Yeah, like if I see King Jax just walking out without saying anything, I'm gonna start following for sure.
You're missing a Yaramir until further notice.
Okay. Adrian?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. So the clouds shift over and they stop right over top of the Dryad's Den. The clouds kind of, evaporate until there's just this one fluffy gray cloud, just literally just over top of the Dryad's Den.
What reminds me of Bull and Yang quite a bit. I'm gonna go in. Going in, Chief.
Okay. You enter your house and you hear loud crackling and electricity from the rightmost room. I will pull it up so you can see what.
Is
room
it
we're talking-
the magic box room? Or
Magic box was with us.
It is this room.
Oh, it's not the magic cage. I'm
No.
going there.
Okay.
Well, isn't it King Jax's room? The storm room, right?
This is King
It's
Jax's room.
But it's not.
Oh,
It's on the
okay.
complete opposite side of our house. So Kane Jax is in
I was
tree.
turned around.
So you push open the door. I need you to make a athletics check.
Ooh, they're gonna try and blow me back. That's a nat fucking 20.
Yeah!
Are you kidding? No way. All right, so that's so funny. So you watch as you know this room is the one that Heaven told you is a plane transportation room,
Oh shit.
and
Oh,
you
no.
force the door open, and this big just flashes of storms and electricity. You dodge out of the way of a few. Everyone else behind you sees these bolts of electricity hitting the walls and starting small fires, and everyone else kind of putting the fires out in the distance. But you manage to, against the winds, to hold this door open, and something impacts you in the chest. I need you to make another athletics check.
Oh, this is where that nat 20 would have came in. That is going to be a 17.
17.
Still pretty good.
See this, Beck? We have all kinds of fun here.
There we go.
Starting to see that.
You watch this rush of blue and white fur come out of the cloud and bowl you over. And
Is it my buddy Latrine?
No. And on top of you, you see your good friend Bulan Yang. And
Aw.
he is on top of you. He has tackled
Don't
you, and he's kind
Don't
of
care
hugging
about
you around the waist now. And he says,
care.
"Oh, hello, Livror. You are a little weaker than I remember."
I am not weak. Oh, you'll jest. It's you. You have the drop on me. And Kane Jax is full on, just hugging this guy while on the ground,
Yeah.
and almost to start rolling over, play fighting a bit.
I have missed you, brother.
I've missed you too, brother. Oh, it's been way too long since I've seen you and home. Oh, this is and he starts getting up. Oh. Keep his apologies, friends. I would like everyone to meet my Livror, Bull and Yang.
Blossom's just like,
To give you a description, Bulan is shorter than King Jax, but still pretty strong. Enough to knock King Jax over. Smaller than Yaramir as well, but he's muscular. He has blue and white Yeti-like furbolg fur. His hair is back and kind of braided with these strange black beads, black wooden beads. And as you kind of approach, you see storms flicker in his eyes, and he kind of bows in front of you all. He says, "It's a pleasure. My name is Bulan Yang."
pleasure's all ours. I'm Blossom.
She's the one with the herbs, so thank her for the nice smell.
It does
Hope
smell
you
quite
like
lovely in here.
Nice to meet you. My name is Beck, and she extends a hand.
Oh yes, and he goes and shakes your hand, and he has a smaller fuzzy mitt.
I've only just met them today, so You and I am kind of meeting at the same time that I'm meeting all of them. You
What a
see,
nice coincidence. It is a big day for new friends.
she like touches the orb and she's like, "Yes, I guess so."
And you, and he turns to Adrian.
Adrian, your honor.
Oh, please, call me Bulin.
Oh, he also likes it when you call him Boo Boo.
Now you do not tell her about Boo Boo, and he smacks you.
I'm calling an arch existence Boo Boo.
Oh, I do it all the time.
There's a big welt on King Jackson's shoulder.
The world has suffered enough from disrespecting gods. Do you think I'm going to disrespect arch existences?
Oh,
Very true and very wise, Adrian. Impressive insight.
oh, and then I lean over. She's the one with the kid I was telling you about.
Oh yes,
What?
that is part of why I am here.
What?
Oh,
I don't.
uh,
No, Alex, I didn't hear what you said.
oh, he said, oh, she's the one with the kid I was telling you about.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, that is
Oh.
partly why I am here, but there are several things we have to do before that. And he shoves a big like duffel bag in your hand, and he's like, "Where will I be staying?"
Oh, you can stay in my room.
All right, come on. And he kind of like runs down the hallway with you, like two little kids running around and having fun.
Oh yeah, this is like that moment when like, you know, guys who haven't seen each other since like childhood, like best buddies haven't seen each other in forever, and they're just like, yes.
They're running around the hallways, knocking over pedestals and stuff, trying to tackle each other.
Oh yeah, there's much tackling and noogieing going on.
Oh my god. Blossom just cracks open a bottle of wine. Not the nice one, she's saving that for now. But she cracks one open and is just like, this is gonna be the best candle nuts ever, y'all.
So as soon as Bulin has you in your room, he says, "But do not tell your mother or father or Aya that I am here, because I do not. They think I am there still, and I do not want them to know."
Well, your secret's safe with me, friend. See, I had no idea you were coming. I would have made it up nice. I would have cleaned up a little bit.
It was just a surprise. I told them that I was up in the temple studying, but I am actually here with you.
I used to do that one all the time. Remember when we told we were up in the temple studying, and then we went and drank this spiked mammoth's milk all night?
Yes, and that's when we found the special herb.
What would we call it? We called it Balgerb.
Ball herb. I brought some too.
Yes. We just told. Let's talk up later.
Don't tell the others. I fear that they do not understand that I am not quite an arch existence of, how do I say it, godly power.
Imagine the look
Got the
on
stoner.
Blossom's face when she finds out that arch existences turn up.
I bet we can party harder than her.
Easily.
Alright, now, in serious business, we will get to the fun, but take me to this child. And your friend.
Yes, of course. Business. He's gonna walk out professionally, acting like they didn't just destroy half the house. Adrian, Bulin would like to meet Callan.
If that is okay.
Understood. So she'll lead you over there, very serious about the whole thing all the time.
Okay.
Don't mind her. She's she's just very serious.
Well, she served the old gods before the God War, so to her this is serious.
Bulin is trying to act professional, but also trying to trip Kang Jacks every few feet. Every once in a while, when there's a lull in conversation, you'll see a storm cloud appear over your head and some water will drip on you. One of you in particular just seems to be a bit of a prankster and just likes to have fun.
Yes, I love
Blossom will very politely hold her tongue if that happens.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
For now. Candle night.
Yaramir, for purposes of this, unless you would like to do something, we can just say that you meet back up with them. But if you wanted to do something, let me know.
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
I guess, it was mostly saying that he didn't quite catch them all leaving at once.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, if they come back through and he sees the group, he'll rejoin with them.
Okay, yeah, you see him walking by, and you see they've added another big furry mitt man to the party.
This a brother of yours that you've been
Oh,
Kind
he's not
of.
just- Yeah, kind of. You could say that. Yeah, he's like brother. This is Bulin Yang, the one, when I call down lightning. That's him.
That is me.
kind of figured you'd be taller.
Most people say that, you know?
I guess I
he's gonna-
don't really know anything about arch existences.
That is okay. I am not here
only-
to preach. I am just here to enjoy festivities with Livbro.
I guess all I know is from what your buddy King Jax has said. So even before that, I wasn't even sure about what that was in the first place. So
That is okay. If you are ever curious, I could tell you, but I'm not here to preach to anyone.
yeah, okay.
Alright, so, kid.
So kid,
I take Bulin and Kane Jackson, whoever else is with us, solemnly up to my little apartment with my bed, and which I am not sleeping in currently, because Bryn is in there, as well as the little sectioned off part of the room where Callan is.
Okay, he walks in, he's like, oh, very nice place. It is very well decorated.
This is
Clearly being
like a
being-
studio apartment.
Yeah, he's clearly been taught to be very polite. He walks over to Bryn first, and the globe is kind of sitting atop of her, like sitting there, making smoke. And he walks up and he places a hand on the orb, and he's like, "Oh, you found some Ikrix."
found some say what now?
Somewhat, my friend.
I'm
You found some
gonna,
Ikrix.
gonna need a translation into
Oh, glowstone.
Or-
Apologies.
orc,
Glowstone in common. I do not speak orc. Never learned.
What?
Yarmir will mutter something under his breath.
What do you? I mean, I know we got some more pressing things, but after this, maybe can you tell us a little bit about these orb things when you have a chance?
Of course, I know not about the orb, but I do know of Ikrix. And Ikrix is essentially, and he's like working as he's talking.
Oh, okay.
Ikrix is essentially a sentient stone who chooses who they want to spend life with.
Oh, that's cute.
Are you telling me that this orb wants to marry me?
I suppose it is a bond like that, but I wouldn't necessarily call it marriage material. And he looks down at the no personality stone.
Looks over at Blossom. Canon in D, please.
Plays.
I have ceremony prepared.
Why?
I do have ceremony prepared. Tomorrow there will be marriage, no? And he kind of looks at the calendar of events, and there is. Perhaps you could marry them.
To be fair, I was speaking in jokes.
Oh,
We tell joke from now and again.
I don't know that
Yes,
language.
I do not actually want to marry the orb.
Oh, I don't think it wants to marry you either. I think it is just sentient weapon, yes? A weapon who picks owner and talks and communicates goals, and he kicks Kang Jax.
I knew it was a weapon. You throw it at someone.
No, you did not. Oh my, this is hard. It is not a sentient weapon. It is sentient stone. It is not used for combat, but it is used for a partner of sorts, for those who it chooses worthy.
Yaramir was briefly interested when he heard weapon, and then immediately uninterested when he heard not weapon.
He actually makes the smoke dissipate over the course of a few minutes over Bryn. And he touches the Ikrix, he calls it, and he says, this one has chosen the wizard. It tells me. And he places the orb next to Bryn. You see breath fill Bryn's lungs for a moment. And then she breathes out. her eyes are still closed, and he says, "Oh yes, she will be tired and must rest for a while, but hopefully for a second day of festival she can join."
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yes. Now Callan. He walks over. And he places his hands on Callan, and his brow kind of furrows for a while. He says, Callan does not have Ecrix, no?
Ecrix?
Glowstone.
I don't think so. One of those stones?
No.
Perhaps we find Callan's stone, and it make him feel better.
What do you mean find a stone?
Perhaps stone will, choose Callan.
Can you, I don't know, Beck, can you, try and ask yours or something? I don't know. I know the other one said, Beans said that this one talked to him, maybe.
Sure. I guess I can try. There's no harm. So Beck kind of walks over closer to the boy and kind of kneels down on the ground and holds the orb kind of close. She's like, I don't know how this works, if you can even hear me, but can you choose that one?
You watch as, to your surprise, a small strand of smoke comes out of the orb, but it does not go towards Callan. It goes towards the door and down a winding path.
Oh, that happened last time too.
Oh,
Should we follow?
Maybe. I mean, it might be pretty far, but
Yeah, you
That's what
Blossom,
the,
you kind of climb up a tree real quick, and you see that it
yeah,
goes way
I'll
out of
scale
town.
back up the roof because I did that when we.
Okay, yeah, it
There's
goes
a-
way out of town.
Oh, by the way, Adrian now has you have a little cat nest on top of your roof that Blossom is going to hang out in sometimes. You won't know, but she'll be there.
Well,
you can't
the,
see that, boy.
Bean's note said to follow the orb, so I guess that's what he meant by it. I'm still not entirely convinced Beans is a person.
Well, it looks. I mean, the thing is, though, with that orb, when I had it, was doing the same kind of thing, and I think that was what helped us. I mean, or maybe it would have helped us if I'd figured it out. To have even found this one. Blossom's pointing between the orbs, so I had this one, and then we found that one, and I think that one helped us find that one, and now this one's trying to help us find this one over there. And some people go both ways.
I believe Blossom may be onto something.
So perhaps this is leading us to the orb that can help him.
I think so.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
It may be a bit of a journey, but I am sure that you 5 and 6, and he lays a hand on Bryn's shoulder, who is kind of resting silently, are up for it.
So many maybes. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it is a hard time.
Can you all just leave?
Of
course.
Yeah, definitely.
Yarimir's already halfway out the door.
Yeah, Beck follows.
King Jax will give one of those look backs, the cinematic look back, longing stare of "I want to help you."
Blossom will leave, but will also quickly drop a book that she got for Bryn next to her bedside.
Yes, I'm going to drop. What should I have gotten?
As they all leave, Adrian is pointedly facing away from everyone.
Okay.
What's a real bummer?
Well, I guess we know what we're doing once the candle knots is over.
Yes, I did not. I will tell Adrian this as well, but I think maybe this would be better shared one-on-one, but I will tell you all as it seems that you want to help as well. I have seen this plague several times, and even though I am arch existence devoted to curing disease, I have been unsuccessful, as much as it pains me to admit. The only reason I was able to help Bryn just now is because of the Ecrix and its strong bond with its owner.
Well, where can we find more Ecrix?
Oh, right, glowstone. I do not know. I suppose you could follow the path, but even then I do not know where it will lead and how dangerous it will be.
Well, we'll take anything of danger for Adrian. She helped us in that volcano.
Yeah, she
deserves
did.
it.
Oh yes, I know, I saw, but.
Oh yes, you were there.
Yeah, she
Everyone
is.
keeps talking about a volcano.
Yo, Yaramir, you've missed some shit.
All right, look, new friends. We're not gonna maybe be paid in gold, but we will be paid in warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Sometimes that is better than gold.
I mean,
I'm not sure who told you that, but I think this one time it might be worth it.
He's only boy. He's got full life ahead of him. Plenty of roughhousing and knocking over things and breaking yet another of Adrian's vases. Does she even have vases?
We will get her some vases.
just to break them.
Perhaps that will be my gift to her.
Now I think this is something we'll figure it out. We'll find a stone or something else, or we'll find those herbs that we need for that potion. We can help out.
Perhaps, yes. Maybe I could start working on that after Candle Nights, and I will try to pinpoint locations of herbs for you and send you in the right direction.
Yes, perfect. We'll do this over partying a little bit. You know?
Yes, I partake.
Look, we see things sometimes when we consult with.
Yes, private vision quest. Yes. Adrian, would you like to do anything while you are alone with Callan?
That you would like to admit to everybody? No.
Gotcha. Okay. So, some time passes. Bulin says, I know I must meditate for a few hours, but then I am more than welcome to come and celebrate festival with you.
Oh yes, and be sure to say hi to Mr. Micah. Maybe buy some jelly. I don't know. Maybe you might be able to use it at home.
Who is Mr. Micah? I must meet this.
You'll like him. He's a good guy, and he does some healing things. So I mean, you know.
Healing things.
That is fantastic. Is there a place I could meditate within the city? Is there perhaps
There's a temple for. I've been working on the temple back at the chapter building. Just don't talk to the barkeep there. He's really rude. You might end up smiting him. I don't want that to happen.
Oh, that would be a bummer. Well, I will be there for hour, maybe two. Hopefully, mother, father, and Aya do not realize where I have gone.
We can hope.
So you are brothers.
Oh, somewhat. I suppose it is the same way that you would call your best friend's parents mother and father.
It's a cultural thing.
We have many mothers, many fathers.
Yes, we're all one clan, you see. Mm-hmm. We're all the big family.
Yang.
Oh, is that what that means? I don't speak giant.
Yes, it is a clan name. There are several.
Yes. So, so to break it down, like my name is King Jax, King Jax Beardfra, yada yada yada.
Yes, that one.
I gotta think about it, but
so each part is broken down. Like the name my parents gave me, King Jax Beardfra. Libra is life brother in your tongue, and then Beardfra is born of. Isifer is my family's name, like the parents I was born to, and then Avstam is of the clan. Yang is the clan's name.
Oh, we all learned something today.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Maybe I should give more context more often. Nah.
Now, friends, I hate to change the subject, but I haven't eaten in a while. I was wondering if anybody knows where I might find some bread.
Oh, do you like it smothered in melted cheese?
Yes. See, I like bread more than I like most humans. So, most anyone, really. And I would love to have any sort right now.
I think that could be arranged. I mean, I don't know if cheeses are going to be open this early, but we could definitely find some food.
Yaramir squints a bit at the very insistent bread comments, but we'll leave his skepticism to himself.
Well, good
He's
thing we're not
strictly on the paleo diet.
Keto.
Keto, bro.
Carbo load.
Bulin says, "Alright, I will be in temple. Hopefully I make more friends than enemies. I will meet you later."
Sounds good, brother.
Goodbye, Libror. And he walks on, and you see in the distance he's like helping old ladies across the road. And like this guy drops his basket, and he's like, oh, and he stops and helps him pick it up.
Guy drops 100 gold coins.
Yeah.
Drop this.
Tries to stab him. He's like, oh, sorry, friend. All right, so what do you guys want to
He was
do?
nice.
Yaramir's gonna look into the shops. If there wasn't such an important story arc that I would have missed, this is what I would have been doing. Gonna look into the shops for something like some kind of fur to wrap around himself to keep him warm. Now that it's snowing and he's still blasting bare chest.
Yeah, there's plenty of nice stuff. There's a shop called Tony's Tarps.
Tony's tarps.
That's
We love Tony.
he'll give it a glance, but yeah, he'll go up to this good old Tony and see what kind of tarps are on offer.
All right, you walk in, and there's a large. He's actually an orc. He's not quite a half orc. He is full-blooded orc.
I love Tony already.
And he looks over. He's like,
Full orc.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you walk in, and he's like, tarp.
Maybe, and he'll respond in orc, and he'll say, "Maybe you're with the chapter."
Of course, I'm with the chapter, and he's talking in orc as well.
I wasn't sure. I'm kind of new to this whole thing. Been a while since I've been around places, and I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't exactly been treated particularly well by orcs since I'm half-blood.
Well, hopefully we can turn that around. Now, what can I get for you?
Well, something to keep me warm for candle night.
Have you tried a candle? That's just a little joke I like to throw in. Anyways, I've got tons of. He like thinks about about his joke way too hard. Turns around, he's like, yeah, I've got tons of pelts. I mean, what are you looking for?
What do you got in the bear persuasion here?
Yeah, sure, we got bears. I'm a bear hunter. He turns around, and you've got lots of bear pelts. Browns, blacks.
He'll find a nicely sized black bear pelt, and
That'll be 5 gold. But you know what? Why don't you just take it? Think of it as a candle night gift from me to you. Hopefully, I can show you that not all orcs are rude people.
he squints a bit and takes it kind of slowly and hesitantly.
You sure I don't need to pay for this?
Nope, consider it a gift. In the spirit of the holiday.
Okay.
He'll take it and he'll kind of do a wave or however his orcish ways of saying goodbye are. I don't know what the lore says, but
Yeah, there's no real custom.
hell yeah. All right, so he'll just wave goodbye then.
Okay. He does the same to you.
And the second he's out of sight, he's inspecting the pelt for any strangeness,
Make
I
a
guess.
perception check.
Perception. 11.
11. Nothing within 11, unfortunately. You look it over, it's finely made, finely tanned, but that's about it.
He'll wrap it around his body and feel a little bit warmer.
All right.
I hope.
Yeah, definitely. It's very warm. So the rest of you, probably the best place to eat in town, if you're looking.
Riskers.
They got
You can go to
calamari.
Riskers if you want. There's a place called Yuri's Yarns. It is a restaurant on the south side of town, completely across town from Riskers. It is not a tavern per se, just a restaurant. They seem to have caught on to that before the 21st century. So
Well, I don't know what you're feeling like, Beck. I don't know if you're like used to a particular kind of cuisine or something. So really, whatever you're feeling like.
Well, one of my weaknesses is I will never turn down bread. So I'll have one of everything.
Bread? You don't like, you don't want to put like meat, lettuce, cheese in there to make sandwich?
No, that ruins the bread.
Alright, noted. Jack's like, I'm gonna need like 3 loaves for later.
Did you go to Yuri's or Risker's?
Who's got the... Well, Risker's is covering our tab. Why wouldn't we go to Risker's?
Okay.
But we just have a drink pass. We don't have a bread pass.
No, we'll
Bread's
swing it.
complimentary. There's bread on the table. So you guys all meet up, you head in. There are loaves and loaves of bread to be had and served.
Ah, I'm in heaven.
When Adrian comes to join the party, she regroups with them, but she's always quiet, but she's a little more quiet than usual. And Chris, can I make everyone make a perception check about
Sure, go for it.
He's grumbling less. I knew it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
A perception, you said?
Yeah.
That is an
23.
8 for me.
23.
Anyone above a 15 can tell that her eyes are a little puffy.
Aww. I
Jackson.
rolled 22.
Yep, K-Jax and Blossom give each other the we know look.
Oh, we know.
I got a 17.
Oh, 3
So,
we knows.
Kind of like a...
Alright, you can't tell Boolin I give this to you, because I think it might help Adrian feel better. We're gonna have a little smoke sesh, if you know what I'm saying. And he pulls out some of the...
You are speaking my language. I know I don't speak giant, but I speak that.
Boolin walks in, he said, "Did I hear smoke session?"
You know, I never thought I'd like an arch existence quite this much to like meet in person. This is pretty amazing. This has been a crazy fucking few weeks, guys.
We are not all staunch, and we are not all evil.
So Boolin just bamps into
Yeah.
It's the god I want to be of. It's my domain.
He does look at Blossom and he says pointedly, "But some of us may have ulterior motives."
What for? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I do not know either then.
Ulterior motives for wanting to have a good time with some friends.
I do not question your motives. And he hands you some herbs.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Alright, so the night wears on. It wears into the evening, and the people start coming out, and many loaves of bread are consumed.
Mostly by me.
Yeah. It is a wonderful night of good conversation. You see occasionally a familiar face walks in. You see Colby, the little kobold armor smith in town. She's absolutely ripped biceps, and she stops by and talks and examines the armor that she made for the two of you, and sees if it's holding up and everything, and lets you know that repairs are free, and she goes on. Mr. Michael walks in after a few hours.
Can I buy Boolin or I risked it at Risker's shirt?
Oh yeah, you can. They're freshly printed too. They're still warm.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
He puts it on. He's like, "I don't quite understand the sentiment. I risked it at Risker's.
Trust me, when we get to the drinking, you'll know.
It will take quite a bit, as I am a little ascended, but hopefully we can try it. Have not had touch of alcohol in years.
They got the giant stuff here. You drink it out of skull.
Oh my! Did they import from Elpian? I will have one of those, and he goes over and gets one of those.
Did I tell you about ogres?
I saw ogres, but please repeat story.
That's anytime King Jax tells the ogre story, finish your drink.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so without, if you guys don't want to do anything else, the evening goes by without a hitch. If there's conversations you guys want to make, go for it. If there's events you want to do, go for it. And other than that, we'll be leading into the first night of the candle nights for the last few minutes of the stream.
Oh.
No, I think Yaramir's pretty set.
Beck's gonna pocket a few loaves of bread.
Sure thing. Easy enough. The heroes. There's a few toasts, Risker. The heroes of Riskers and the ale. And, there's a bunch of heroes from Bulin, and you all enjoy a nice beverage.
Yeah.
On the house.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so you find your beds for the evening. You have a pretty good night. Adrian.
Yep.
How much have you been consuming alcohol this fine evening?
Probably way too much.
Gotcha. All right, so you find the dirt eventually, or your bed, depending on how much of a trooper you are.
I mean, if she's like,
Make a
Blossom
con save.
Blossom would have helped make sure she like gets back
Gotcha.
to her bed though. Like,
Okay.
24.
Oh, yeah, you're a tank.
I am a tank.
All right, so you find your bed eventually, and you walk in, and you hear Bryn's soft breathing. And you see Callan is not so much. So you lay down in your bed, face first, and dreams take you. You find yourself fighting alongside of Thane over in Garamor, a continent to the north. Snow-covered peaks similar to the ones you see now, but there are thousands of Goliaths around you, running down your battalion. You've had this dream many times, and you know the outcome. However, your brain doesn't play you the outcome this time, and instead cuts to a giant city overrun by thousands of giants, fire giants, frost giants. From your travels, and since it's nearby, you recognize this as the town of Hedmira's Hammer, which you have recently heard has become overrun with giants. You see this large set of double doors. Which you know is the center of Agora's range, which leads to one of Agora's bells in the center of the mountain range. This is the only door in, and on the door you see a small circular hole, and you see this faint glow of this circle, and it pulses for a little while. And inside of it you see, swirling around in the smoke, you see a sword and a shield. And that's the dream. Your vision cuts back and you see the end of the terrible dream that you have probably had a few times when Thane passes. And you wake up the next morning. Sorry, it had to be somebody. Session's been too happy. So, you all wake up in your bed or your ditches or your alleys. Wherever you find slumber for the evening, you wake up to a resounding sound of a large air horn. King Jack, you look down from your little loft balcony you've got going on where your bed is, and you see Boolin's kind of on the floor, sprawled out.
Oh, no. Boolin's, he gets the bed.
Okay, you're both kind of in the bed. He's like spread out like across you, and he kind of gets up. He's like, oh, that was quite the crazy night. Hopefully tonight is just as fun. And he hops down and starts putting on his pelts and strapping on his leathers, and he says, I'd like to play it cool. Hopefully no one recognizes me. As you know, tomorrow is actually a day where I am celebrated across people. Second day, the good aligned deity or arch existences are celebrated. First day is neutral. So hopefully your friend can celebrate today, the Tabaxi.
Hey, called out.
What do you know?
Hey, I'm not there.
I know. What do you know of this? Her remark worries me.
Do you know the Licky one?
Yes, of course I know the Licky one. I knew him before he went by Knock.
Well, we got problems. She made deal with him.
Oh, beans.
Yes!
God bless. It runs on the family.
Now that's a finisher drink.
Well,
Fucking pound your drink, William Yang says.
What was the problem? Were you in tough situation and he promised to help out?
You didn't see? We were in Hadmir's Hammer. Giants were closing in. Not the kind that you want on the worshipping you. Let's just put it that way. Things were gonna get scary, and we were going to die. We just got done fighting scarecrow stuff.
Yes, I saw the fight, but I did not see. Whenever he gets near, I think my vision is a little clouded of you. Just be wary in future if you or your friend ask for help that I will not be there.
Oh, it's okay. I stomped on his tongue for you.
Oh, smart. Well,
He really creeps me out.
he is very creepy, but his intentions are not necessarily evil. So I suppose that's better than Tripend or Iris or one of the others. So
True. Perhaps we should meet with others. I really want to check on Adrian. She seemed really rough last night.
yes, I wish I could do more for her, but unfortunately we need some of that E-Crix. Hopefully you'll be able to find one.
Yes, and let's make sure Beck doesn't have a. Let's make sure Beck doesn't have bread hangover.
I imagine she will. Beck seems nice. Is she a member of your chapter now, or?
Not yet. I was going to ask if she's interested. She did handle herself really nicely against the beer bugs.
I was traveling during the beer bugs, but I caught the replay, and that was quite funny. Well, let's get going. Hopefully I can stay a bit incognito. And he pulls up a hood over himself a little bit, and he turns, he's like, oh, here, and he gives you a hug. And he's like, that is from Mother. She is very worried when you were near death weeks ago.
Oh, she saw that, huh?
Yes, we were both there. Unfortunately, we were together at the time, and I couldn't quite hide it from her.
Oh, Beans.
She's
gonna kill me.
She is very angry, but she did send pastries, and he gets out a basket, and it's like classic Bronze Summit Mountains cuisine.
Don't show back. This is like some of the finest bread.
And by send, she does not know I am here yet, but I did. She gave these to me weeks ago, but I think she would rather you have them.
Oh, you're too kind.
I mean, maybe one, and he takes one.
Kicks down door. I got breakfast, everyone.
So everybody wakes up. You meet up.
Yaramir is sleeping in a chair at the table, kind of feet kicked up on the table, and kind of just jolts awake and almost tips the chair over backwards, but is dexterous enough to not fall over. Maybe I should roll a check for that. Whatever.
So you gather outside between the Dryad's Den and Adrian's hovel. Whatever side you decided to sleep on, it doesn't really matter. You meet up, and over the loudspeakers, essentially, you hear Kit's voice, and it says, she says, "Please gather in the town square as we prepare to celebrate our friends, the Arch-Existences."
I guess we go gather.
All right.
I don't think we have much of a choice.
That kind of like stretches out, and she's like, "Oh, it has been a while since I've had that much."
That much bread.
I can't really say no to it, and when you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's not bread to say no to, so it's a little easier. Oh. And she's like walking around, like massaging her back.
Oh, got like a bread baby going on.
Oh yeah.
Don't want paste?
She grabs one.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
She takes it anyway. She's like, oh, I hate myself.
Food is such a
Why is that
relatable.
accurate to me in
Yeah.
real life?
I know, I feel called out.
Very relatable.
Hashtag
I am in
most
this picture
relatable
and I don't
person.
like it.
Most relatable character on Chromatic Chimera.
Right.
So true.
All right, so you all gather in a I can show you on the map where you would be.
Oh, yeah.
So right here is like essentially the town square where these two large bridges connect these two towers over the lake. But in the town square, you can somehow hear Kit, even though she is talking from one of those large bridges. It's essentially thaumaturgy, but consistent in the town square, so you can hear from the bridge at all times. She goes on to say, and thousands of people gather here. The town itself probably only holds about 2,000 people, so like everybody is in this town square. Like you see Mr. Micah, and he runs over and grabs one of your hands and holds on to it for the start of the celebration. For the people who haven't met Mr. Micah, there's a small gnome with blonde, slicked over hair. He has a curly Q mustache, and he's very small, and he wears a nice green 3-piece suit.
Make him talk. Make him talk. Make him talk.
And no, didn't hear it. So he runs over, and he wants to be with you guys because you're probably his closest friends at this point. And you hear Kit begin speaking, and she says, "Today we light our candles to honor those who have transcended a typical existence. These 7 have served many people in many ways. Some of us will never know. In many ways we have never known. We celebrate the loved ones and creatures these existences watch over." And she takes her match, essentially, and her torch, and she lights 7 separate candles. And as she lights each one, she says, the first one is the triangle, and she lights the first candle. Locket, Haravsagar, Polly, Echo, the Weave, and Knock. And she lights them all, and she bows, and she says, and remember, friends, even if you do not worship a specific arch existence, enjoy the festival. And she extinguishes her torch, and there's a loud "Yah! Huzzah!" and everybody goes crazy. Flasks are pulled out, and everybody is starting to party immediately.
Yeah.
And that's where we're gonna probably end tonight's session.
Wow, that was really nice of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Party time.
So
I don't want to get too much into it,
Excellent.
so
I know you didn't really emotionally destroy the whole party this time.
just
Nope.
one.
Just Adrian.
Yeah.
Pris has this wonderful tendency where we get this nice vacation episode finally after tumultuous struggles, and things are finally looking good, and then it just gets grimmer than it was before because he emotionally destroys.
It's always at the very end of the episode, and it always ends on a cliffhanger.
We got.
Give me a few.
We have 3 days of festival good times ahead, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
3 days for Christopher.
So much bread.
So much bread, yep.
So much bread. So
All
we're
the
gonna
bread.
go raid
Alright, well,
Dice
thank you,
Priory for
Nicole.
Lagos.
Yeah, we will do that. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us for your first
Yeah!
session. Hope you
Welcome.
enjoyed. Hope you'll come back. Hope
Absolutely.
the bread didn't
Welcome.
scare you off. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. A lot of new faces in the chat. Really appreciate it. All the new followers. You guys are awesome. Really love hearing from you. We're going to go raid our friends at Dice Priory. We are doing a Dungeons and Doggos stream tonight. Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. So,
Also, Steam Spell next week.
yeah, we have Steam Spell next week. Tune into that, where we will finish the ruins of Ace Adel, right?
Aos Adel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
close. And find out if my character is dead or not. All right.
Let's go.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Fly with me, fly.